stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Hi, y'all. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77 Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week. My biblical question. Do you value your feelings? Do you value your feelings? Do ya? Do ya? Amazing question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, whatever you might be doing, whatever you might be doing, you can listen to the show live on your iPhone or iPad, anywhere in the world. You can podcast the show, you want to watch it later, whatever. But you can listen by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on Rumble. You got to know how to rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. JLP Talk on Twitter. JLP Talk on Twitter. And cozy.tv/JLP, where Christ is King. Cozy.tv. Amazing. It is Thursday. And every Thursday, is Bible Thumper Thursday.
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
I am the daughter of two pastors.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
President Joe Biden is only the second Catholic president.
The Pope is like, if you don't... They call him the Holy Father. Ain't nothing holy about the Pope.
God, why? Why George, God?
Holy mackerel.
You preach for us and then tell us what it is you mean.
I can't believe you people follow a man. Amazing. The Pope is tick. Don't mess with the Pope. Especially when he has on his beautiful gown. Don't mess up my gown. What the? Bible Thumper. The Pope is sick. Happy Men's History Month, by the way. Happy Men's History Month. I want to, before we go to the calls and the super chats and everything, I want to give you a men history moment. We got to bring back, or point the way back for the men, back to the father. And Sean is going to read this for you and tell you about this guy. Good morning, Sean. Oh. My producer is here. He white. And because August is Men's History Month, we got to set aside a little time to bring back the natural order of men. All right? And women. And the women will follow if the men were men. So there's this man by the name of, or was, Ernest Hemingway. Tell us about him.
Well,
This is from Ernest Hemingway
excuse me.
biography. Ernest Hemingway left behind an impressive body of work and an iconic style that still influences writers today, right?
That's right.
Well, should I play the biography first and then you follow?
Sure.
Okay. Here's from biography.
Ernest Hemingway was one of the most important writers of the 20th century.
He revolutionized the idea of what an American author was.
As a young man, Hemingway worked on his school newspaper, and then on graduation, instead of going to college, he went directly to work on newspapers in Kansas City. That background in journalism had a lot to do with his later literary style.
Ernest Hemingway's writing style was significant because he was so brief and seemingly straightforward. Whereas other writers were writing very long sentences, Hemingway came in and stamped on them with his short little sentences.
During World War I, Hemingway served as an ambulance driver and then moved to Paris, where he wrote his first novel, The Sun Also Rises. Hemingway's 1929 second novel, A Farewell to Arms, was based on his World War I experiences and was a big success. His personal life, however, was often stormy.
Hemingway had this pathological thing where as soon as he married one woman, he fell in love with another one, usually a much younger one. And this happened over and over.
Ernest Hemingway was married 4 times. With his first wife, Hadley, they had a son, John. With his second wife, Pauline, he had 2 sons, Patrick and Gregory. He was then married to the journalist Martha Gellhorn, and then finally to Mary Welsh.
Hemingway continued to live up to his reputation as a fearless physical writer, as he served as a newspaper war correspondent during the Spanish Civil War and World War II.
In 1951, Ernest Hemingway won the Pulitzer Prize for The Old Man and the Sea.
Hemingway was further honored 3 years later with a Nobel Prize in Literature.
Hemingway suffered from alcoholism, suffered from an ongoing battle with inner demons in his life.
It started to take an intense mental toll. He would have beer and gin for breakfast. And after a while, he was no longer a functional alcoholic. His ability to write was gone, and he felt that that was his essence as a human being. That was his point for being on Earth.
Hemingway committed suicide when finally he found that all the virtues that he most valued, self-control and productivity, had come to an end. It was better to go out than simply to flounder on.
Ernest Hemingway died on July 2nd, 1961.
Hemingway's greatest work may have been his life, the life that he lived. He took being a writer from being someone who just sat in a room to someone who not just gobbled up life, but made a show of it.
Amazing. That's an amazing story. And you say?
There's really so much to say. There's so much to say. You can't really talk about men's history without talking about him, especially American men's history. He was like the most well-known writer of the 20th century. And he really he was very influential in defining what manhood meant for a lot of people, especially like the myth about him you know, as opposed to like his actual life. Because, you know, everyone tells stories about themselves that aren't necessarily all that true.
Yeah.
But his actual life was pretty incredible. He was born in 1899 in Illinois. His dad was a doctor, like a town doctor. And his mom was, she gave up her career as an opera singer to have her children.
Nice.
And his mom was very overpowering and selfish, sort of bombastic and imposing, you know, impatient, all those things. He had a older sister that was 2 years older, and she used to dress them both up as girls.
She would dress him like that too?
Yeah.
What the?
She would have them wear the same clothes.
No wonder he committed suicide.
Well, his dad committed suicide in the same way too.
Really?
Yep.
What the?
But he grew up worshiping his dad. His dad taught him everything about hunting, and his dad was a very respected professional guy.
Right.
And he grew up worshiping his dad. His dad taught him everything about the outdoors, hunting, how to be a man. But as he grew older, he started to see his dad as like weak and submissive to his mom, and that probably had a profound effect.
So his
effect
father
on.
committed suicide?
Yep, he shot himself, and so did Ernest Hemingway.
That's amazing. It's interesting that outwardly he was smart intellectually to do the things he did, but inwardly he had so much conflict.
Yeah, he did, and it was all the things we talk about. His overpowering mother. He called his mom an all-time all-American bitch.
He did? All-time all-American bitch?
Yep.
Really?
Direct quote.
Wow.
And his mom wrote him, when he was like 18, 19, 20, his mom wrote him a letter and said, like, if you don't start acting like a man, and if you don't come out of your head, you're not welcome in this house anymore. You can't come home anymore. And so he went to World War I. He wasn't a soldier. He was an ambulance driver. You know, ambulance.
That's what he did.
Serviceman. Yeah.
Right.
He couldn't because of he was like nearsighted or something like that. He got rejected.
Right.
So he became an ambulance driver, but he got severely wounded as an ambulance driver in the war. And then he spent all that time in Paris. But his writing style is really what stands out. Like it influenced so many. It was such a big influence that it's hard to like describe what it was like.
Right.
But it was the best ever. I mean, it redefined what writing was like for people.
They said that he wrote short phrases where the other people try to write these long, thick stories.
Yeah, exactly. It was very simple, declarative, short sentences, short paragraphs, like like you would see in a newspaper.
Right.
Not a lot of adjectives, not a lot of big words. It was very accessible to common people. And if you had a high school degree, you could understand what he was writing. It wasn't
Keep it simple.
It wasn't elitist, highfalutin like college language.
Tried to show off to get the glory.
Yeah, it was writing for everyone.
Yeah.
It really was, which made it even. Not only was it his style for everyone, but it was also really deep. So they call it the iceberg theory. Mm-hmm. So what you see on the page is only an eighth of the iceberg. 7/8 of the iceberg are under the water. Like the writing was simple, but by subtle associations, and if you really looked into it and like brought something to the reading, it's actually very, very, very deep.
Nice.
So it hit everybody, whether you're a scholar or a regular guy. It was profound.
Yeah, they say he went to college or he dropped out. He went to college.
No, he didn't go to college.
He didn't go to college.
No.
Oh, nice.
No, he went to work on the newspaper.
Oh.
And then all of his friends started volunteering for World War I, and he did as well. His parents didn't. His parents wanted him to go to college, and then going to work for the newspaper in Kansas City was like a compromise with his parents. Like, oh, I won't go to college, but I'll go to work instead of going to the war. But he ended up going to the war anyway.
Yeah, it reminded me. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, and she was telling me that one of her brothers was I believe she said sheep farmer, like simple life, and he did very, very well working the fields and doing his thing. And then the other brother went to college to be an intellectual or something like that, and the brother that was his sheep farmer did better than the brother that went to college, and the brother that went to college is still going to college. He's an old guy. He's not even satisfied yet. He's just trying to get degree after degree.
Yeah.
What a mess.
Not surprising.
Amazing.
But yeah, writing wasn't the only thing he did. He was a deep sea fisherman. He was a boxer. He was a bullfighting aficionado. He was a big game hunter in Africa. He did it. He traveled the world and did it all.
Amazing.
And like met all of the famous people.
I didn't realize he died in the 60s. I thought he had died earlier in life.
Yeah,
What are the
60,
years?
61, 62, something like that.
So what is it? Are his sons doing it? His kids are still alive, I assume.
I think one or two of them are.
And are they doing anything, following in his footsteps?
Not that I know of.
Not
that I know of. I don't think they're particularly well known.
Did you know he had been married so many times?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And
His first girlfriend, he fell in love while he was in the hospital, after he got injured in the war. He was in the hospital and he fell in love with a woman who was like 7 years older than him, a nurse. That wasn't the first person he got married to.
Right. It wasn't?
No, it wasn't.
It was just the person he fell in love with.
When she broke up with him, he was like devastated, And then he ended up marrying like four different people.
Come on, man!
Throughout his life. And he, like you say, he always had one waiting in the wings before he broke up with the first one.
I used to do that. That's amazing.
But yeah, so I have a couple things to read, if that's all right. Well, first of all, I want to say he's one of those people who are getting canceled now. He's one of the people who are dead, but they're getting canceled.
Really?
Yeah.
And why?
Because because he's a white male, to be honest. But his writing is, he talks about a lot of heavy stuff in his writing, not heavier than anyone else,
Right.
But now these publishers, the Daily Wire, I saw in the article, they put trigger warnings on his books now.
Wow.
So before you get into reading the book, it's a trigger warning saying that the publication of the novel is not an endorsement of his writings. And it says this book was published in 1926, reflects the attitudes of its time. The publisher's decision to present it as it was originally published is not intended as an endorsement of cultural representations of or language contained herein. And you might have heard of The Old Man in the Sea.
Yeah, I heard that.
Right,
Yes.
that's one of his last one.
So what was about the book they don't like?
If you can believe this, The Old Man in the Sea is flagged for allegedly graphic fishing scenes.
Fishing?
Graphic fishing scenes.
How can fishing be graphic?
You're harming the poor animal.
What the?
I mean, I don't know. It's just a way to make his writing more obscure.
Yeah.
But if you want a good example of his style, he wrote novels, he wrote short stories, he wrote nonfiction, he wrote a little bit of poetry that wasn't very good. But this is from Big Two-Hearted River, one of his short stories. And he used the same character over and over again. His name was Nick Adams, and it was very representative of him as a young man.
Right.
But he wrote Nick looked at the burnt over stretch of hillside where he had expected to find the scattered houses of the town, and then walked down to the railroad track to the bridge over the river. The river was there. It swirled against the log spires of the bridge. Nick looked down into the clear brown water, colored from the pebbly bottom, and watched the trout, keeping themselves steady in the current with wavering fins. As he watched them, they changed their position by quick angles, only to hold steady in the fast water again. Nick watched them for a long time.
No.
His style, no adjectives.
Right. I like that.
If you can picture, like, the first people, like when we were hunters and gatherers, just, the first men who went out hunting in small little groups.
Right.
Let's just say, for the sake of conversation, before we started using language, really, there wouldn't be a lot of spoken words. There'd be like the leader of the hunting group, and a lot of that language would be nonverbal. You know, tiny little sounds, hand movements, mostly just his body language that everybody would respond to, and everybody just knew what was going on. And that's a way of communicating that's faster and more accurate and articulate than any words could ever be, you know? And then people, let's just say, you know, people started using nouns first. You know, this is a chair, this is a rock, this is a axe, you know?
Right.
And that's also pretty direct. Everyone knows an axe when they see it. Everyone knows a chair when they see it. And then let's just say people started using verbs next, you know, run, jump, hide, you know. Now verbs can, more than nouns, verbs start to get a little confusing, you know. Let's just say dedicate, you know, everyone might think of dedication as something different, you know.
Interesting.
But as soon as you start using adjectives, things start to get confusing. It's immediately, as soon as you start using adjectives, it's like a judgment. You know, you're putting a judgment on the world.
Yeah.
When I was learning about Ernest Hemingway, I had a professor that said, adjectives ruined the English language. He said that.
Wow.
I don't know if he was talking about him specifically, but he said adjectives ruined the English language.
Yeah.
I never really knew what he meant by that.
Yeah.
But it like stirred up in my mind for years and years, and then just recently I started thinking about it. Like, yeah, he's right. Adjectives ruin the English language, and Hemingway doesn't use a lot of adjectives. Trump doesn't use a lot of adjectives.
Right.
Very simple, direct language.
Good old days.
Verbs, nouns, and it's all the meaning of it is implied by what's repeated.
Yeah. Is it safe to say that Hake abuses adjectives?
Oh, he uses them in the funniest way possible. Yeah, he uses them very tongue-in-cheek kind of way. So he gets it.
Amazing. That's interesting, though, man. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, right? And so the meaning in these novels and the meaning in his stories are all implied. You know, he uses something called it's called a objective correlative. And there's an object in the scene of the novel, and you get to know the characters by how they treat this object.
Nice.
So they all treat the object differently, and you get to know them by how they treat this.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
The small things mean just as much as the big things.
Yeah.
You know, if I come in here and you had something important, like an important paper, and I were to just like leave my cup on it or something, that would say something about me.
Absolutely.
I'm not aware, I'm not conscious.
Amazing.
Can I read a couple other things?
Yes. Men's History Month, I guess, is Men's History Month.
So this is the same character as when he got older, Nick Adams. This is from a short story called Fathers and Sons. His father has since passed on, and now he's with his son. Now, as he rode along the highway in the car and it was getting dark, Nick was all through thinking about his father. The end of the day never made him think of him. The end of the day had always belonged to Nick alone, and he never felt right unless he was alone at it. His father came back to him in the fall of the year or in the early spring when there had been jacksnipe on the prairie, or when he saw shocks of corn, or when he saw a lake, or if he ever saw a horse and buggy, or when he saw or heard wild geese, or in a duck blind, remembering the time an eagle dropped through the whirling snow to strike a canvas-covered decoy. Rising, his wings beating, the talons caught in the canvas. His father was with him suddenly in deserted orchards and in newly plowed fields, in thickets on small hills, or when going through dead grass, whenever splitting wood or hauling water, by grist mills, cider mills, and dams, and always with open fires. The towns he lived in were not towns his father knew.
Amazing. Nice.
Right? You just the rhythm of it, the imagery.
Man, and you make me remember how the so-called intellectuals, how they write today. It doesn't even make sense.
Right.
You don't even want to read it because
it
has no rhyme or reason at all.
Yep.
Just a bunch of words.
Just adjectives, verbs, and repetition. You know, the flow of it makes you feel like you're there.
It's amazing how much we lost in our country as a result of the intellectuals.
It is.
Not keeping the common sense thing going.
Yeah, it's all common sense.
Yeah.
It's all common sense.
Amazing.
Can I do one more thing?
Real fast.
Real fast?
Yeah.
All right. These are some of his more famous short quotes. They're just
Okay.
a sentence.
Okay.
And I want to know what you think of them, if you have any thoughts about them.
All right. Hit me.
Courage is grace under pressure.
Amazing. Absolutely.
Courage is grace under pressure.
100%.
Man is not made for defeat. A man can be destroyed, but not defeated.
Amazing. Absolutely. Wow.
Good one, right?
He wrote that too?
Oh yeah, these are sentences from some of his novels. So the full context of the sentence is in the novel.
Amazing.
You know, but all right, one more. The world breaks everyone, and afterward many are strong in the broken places.
Yes. Hello, Donald Trump. The great white hope. Wow.
You can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another.
Right on. Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff, especially his short stories, but all of his novels. You know, The Old Man and the Sea is
Ernest Hemingway. Amazing. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
I totally appreciate that. Man, History Month. That's amazing that the enemies of God and of good, which is the same, would put those books as something bad to read.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't care.
Right.
They have no sense of history or style.
Excuse me, I got to drink some water. Why are they allowed to get away with that today in every area? Well, the white people are afraid, I guess. But in every area of life, they're able to try to erase true and good history.
Because no one's there to defend it. No one's really standing up to tell them they're wrong for doing that. The white people have been convinced that they're guilty of something, and they hate themselves. I guess, you know.
They're afraid.
I guess they're afraid.
What a mess.
But yeah, I mean, you know, an amazing life, and like I said, he set a lot of people, young men, you know, saw his life and said, I want to be like that. You know,
Yeah.
He set the standard for what manhood is
Yeah.
for a lot of young men.
Were you surprised he killed himself?
No.
No,
because well, it's kind of a long story, but late in his life, he was getting he had he survived many plane crashes. He had several traumatic head injuries.
Oh.
And he was still drinking. He got very paranoid. He was like shaky. He couldn't shoot guns anymore. He couldn't write anymore. He couldn't do any of the things he loved to do.
And these things happen as a result of their plane crashes and things like that?
Well, he was also paranoid that the FBI was spying on him at the time because he participated in a civil war over in Spain, and the FBI wasn't sure of his loyalties to the country.
Uh-huh.
So that he was like, the FBI is tapping my phones, you know, and he was getting paranoid.
Oh, wow.
And he
nothing new under the sun.
And like I said, he couldn't do all the things he loved to do. He couldn't shoot. He couldn't write. He couldn't do any of that. And that's not, obviously that's not an excuse. Those aren't the things that he defined him. But it turns out the FBI was spying on him.
Really?
They found that out years later. They were tapping his phones.
Amazing.
But yeah, he did. He did end up committing suicide. But...
Amazing. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Ernest Hemingway. I got to take a quick break. When I come back, your phone calls and Super Chats. Back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Welcome back. 888-77-JESSE. Quick announcement. Number one, the Hate Report, of course, is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning from 9 to 11. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. What the? At 12 noon Pacific time. Brand new episode of the FallenState.tv tomorrow, Friday, if the Lord is willing, and the creek don't rise at 12 noon. Yet another interesting discussion with Peter Schretheim. He is the author of Recovering Racist, a comprehensive and fair-minded attempt to reasonably discuss a discomforting subject. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
And so, are you a racist?
Yes, I am. You really think that most black people are making choices to harm other people?
I see it on a daily basis.
You sound like an extremist and a half right now.
I may not know my flaws, but I know black people. The white people are already licking the boots of the blacks. How much more licking do you need to do?
George Floyd and I hooped together.
Oh, yeah? Did y'all smoke pot together, too?
White people commit more violent crime.
What the?
Do you think all women are narcissists?
Yes.
You're going to get me in so much motherfucking trouble laughing at your...
Schwetham, Peter Schwetham. Is that a Jewish name? I think I asked him about that. What the? So that's this Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. All right? And don't forget that Donate and have your comments read out loud on buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. All right, YouTube don't like us right now. They won't let us. Anyway, let me go to Bradley out of Illinois. Bradley, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Well, hello there, Jesse. How do you do today?
All is well, Bradley.
Oh, beautiful. All right. So it's Bible Thumper Thursday, ain't it?
Bible Thumper Thursday, it is.
Now, how's the wind in the speaker here? Is it okay?
I don't hear the wind. Go,
you don't hear the wind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
That's good.
Get to your point, buddy, because of time here.
Oh, okay. How much evil should we see? How much evil should we hear? And how much evil should we speak of?
I don't understand that question.
Okay. You know how God chooses people to do certain things that are a little crazy?
Like
like a cop. He's got to go around to a house with two drunkards, right? And he's got to defuse the situation, right? But what if he's got to see something really ugly? Should he see that evil, or should he not?
Should he see that as evil, or should he not?
No, should he see the evil? Should he see, when you know that it's evil, should you hear the evil? Should you see the evil?
Bradley, do me a kind favor. Hold on, because your questions are not clear. Let Sean, I want Sean to talk to you, see if you could be a little bit more clear with your question. Do not hang up, though. I'll come back to you. Is this Anna?
Hello?
Anna, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well. Anna, how are you?
All is well.
Yeah.
My question is, did God create Satan?
Did God create Satan? Well, according to the word, it says that he did create Satan, yes.
So if God created Satan, you always say, and I completely agree with you, that we are not guilty, correct?
Right.
And so how can you say then that Eve was guilty?
I never said Eve was guilty.
Yes, you did.
When?
In the fallen state, when you talked to John Zerka, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys had the conversation about free will.
About what?
Right? Free will, having free will.
Free will?
Yeah, and
okay.
Zerka was believing that we have free will, and you were explaining that we don't. And so he got confused about doing evil and being not responsible for it since we don't have free will. But the conversation went on to go into the Adam and Eve story, and he says, so Eve is guilty. And you agreed with him. You said she is guilty as soon as she believed the lie.
She is guilty of believing the lie?
You said no. You said Eve is guilty. So you didn't mean it?
Well, I don't remember that conversation, so I can neither deny or agree at this point. I have to either revisit that conversation because I don't remember how it went.
What do you think about it now?
Do you believe that we have a free will?
No, I don't think that we have a free will, but I think now that God gave us free will, which doesn't mean that we have free will, but God gave us free will when we were born into this world, because Satan is free will, the ego nature.
You say that God, you believe that God gave us free will?
In the form of Satan,
and
of the ego nature.
I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean by that?
Because God created Satan, correct?
That according to the word, yes.
Because how could he not have? He is the creator. He created everything, right?
Right.
So God created Satan, and much like he created, I think, and then it comes the question always, why, right? People ask, why did he create Satan, correct? And I think Satan is rather a function, much like the thorn
What do you mean that God gave us free will, though? I don't understand that.
Well, what is Satan? God gave us Satan. God created Satan, right? What is Satan? Satan is the ego nature. Satan is free will. Satan is the one who makes us believe we can, we can do it all. We can have free will. We can create. We don't need God. We can do it on our own, right?
And what do you mean that God gave us free will?
Because God created Satan and gave us Satan in this world. When we were born into this world, he placed Satan here.
How is that free will?
What?
You said God gave us free will, and I ask us, how is it that God gave us free will? You say he gave us Satan. I don't understand how that is free will from God.
Satan is free will.
How is that?
Satan is because he's the ego nature. He is believing that he is making us believe that we have free will, but we don't.
But how is that free will from God?
Because God made Satan. But what I wanted to say
but I don't understand at all what that means, Anna.
Satan is
because
rather,
Satan. Are you believing that?
Satan?
Are you thinking that Satan is free?
No.
But then, if Satan had a free will, why isn't he free?
Satan is free will because free will is an illusion, right?
I can't say right. 'Cause I don't understand that statement at all. If Satan is free will, and you're saying that's from God, if I'm hearing you correctly, and if that's from God, but Satan is in bondage, he's not free will.
What is Satan in your
Because
opinion?
God didn't make Satan evil. Satan decided he wanted to be God, and he became evil by believing that. So God didn't make him evil. God did not make him evil. But I'm still trying to understand, well, how did you get free?
Hold on.
I'm still trying to understand, how did you get free will from that?
Stay there for a second. You say God didn't make Satan evil, but don't you think that God knew that Satan is going to become evil, just like Jesus knew that Judas is going to tell on him, and he told him,
what is it?
Do what
is
you
this
need
helping
to do.
you? How is this helping you to think this way?
Well, Satan, what is Satan to you? Jesse,
How is this helping
question.
you to think this way? What's your point? It's helping you in what way to think about all this stuff in that way?
The point is that God says to us, my strength is made perfect in weakness. And the function of Satan, to understand the function of Satan, why did God create Satan? Because I think Satan is much like the thorn in our flesh that God gave to us. He gave to us a thorn in our flesh.
How is it helping you to think that, what is it doing for you to think that Satan is your free will?
No, he's not my free will. I don't have free will.
But you said God gave you free will by way of Satan.
No, I didn't. Well, I said God gave us free will.
And how is that helping you? How is that helping
world.
Anna to believe that God gave her free will by way of Satan?
I don't believe that God gave me free will.
But you said it.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying. If you think that.
But you did say that God. Did I understand you right when you said that God gave us free will by way of Satan? Did you say that?
No, in the form of Satan.
And what is it doing for you to know or believe that God gave you free will in the form of Satan?
The understanding why God created Satan in the first place.
How is that helping you to believe that God gave you free will in the form of Satan when all who believe in Satan are enslaved?
I'm not believing in Satan, but understanding why God created Satan, which is a pretty common question in Christianity, you must admit.
But you're not answering how is that helping you to believe that God gave you free will in the form or by way of Satan. How did that happen, Anna?
It is helping Anna to endure.
But if you have a free will, why are you enduring anything?
I didn't say I have free will. I don't think.
Anna, you're back and forth. You are saying that. You said God gave us free will by way of Satan.
I said God gave us free will, which does not mean that we have free will. We are not Satan.
All right. Anna, thank you. I got to run because of time. I don't understand at all what you mean. And because you won't even tell me how you're getting, how is that helping you? And because you can't tell me that, I'm not understanding. But call me again because of time here, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, Anna. I just don't understand what you're saying, Anna. I'm not getting it. If you have been able to give me an example how that helping you to believe that Satan, God gave you free will by way of Satan, maybe I can understand if you say, well, it's helping me in this way. But all people do until they wake up, believe in Satan. That's why they're in bondage. They're in prison. They're enslaved. Let me try Brad. There's a line open at 888-7753-773. Let me try Bradley again. Bradley, let's try it again. Go ahead.
Okay, I have a different question for you since the other one was a little scary.
It wasn't scary. It just wasn't clear.
Oh, okay. We'll do another question. It's okay. I don't need no answers. So my other question is more about salvation. And how when you feel, for lack of better terms, when you feel it, right? Christians will say that it isn't a feeling, it is something else, right? And as a young Christian myself, back in the busy day, I struggled with that very much so, and let people whisper in my ear about how, oh, you don't know salvation. Oh, you're just blah, blah, blah. But then turns out once I, sit in my thoughts and look at it and observe, I understand what salvation is. So why do we as Christians tiptoe around the feeling of salvation to newer Christians when all they know is feelings and emotions.
Why do they you said why do they tiptoe around that?
Yeah, why do they say, hey, it's not a feeling? I mean, I know why, because it isn't. But why do we talk to people that are of the world in godly terms when they will not understand it? Is it to call them and maybe they'll figure it out later? Because I found my salvation to be
most
really
Christians are doing that
because of that.
Most people are doing it for ego purposes, because if they can make you believe that they are Christian, they get an ego feeling from that. And so that's why you have like street preachers and the Bible thumpers going around, quote unquote, ministering to everybody, because it gives them a false sense of salvation, of being saved. And so,
don't you see it as really gross?
Real what?
Gross, disgusting.
I just see it as an ego-driven thing that people use, the Christian use, in order to try and convince themselves that they are, quote unquote, saved, because inwardly they know that they're not, but outwardly they have to continue to do things to make them feel and think that they are. Bradley, thank you, buddy. I do appreciate it. I got to run because of time here. Nicholas out of Texas. There's one line open at 888-7753-773. Nicholas, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you for having me again, Jesse. Good morning. So I wanted to answer your question, which was, I believe,
do you value your feelings?
Do you value your feelings? So my answer to the question, I want to know what you think about this. It's basically, before I had returned to the kingdom, before I sacrificed myself, before I let go of everything, my values were not, or my feelings were, I was not able to value my feelings because my mind was captured by past conditioning, and it was a slave to compulsion and ideas and identification. But then, once I made the journey and once I sacrificed myself and got into the kingdom, I realized what feelings were, and now I'm able to value them fully. And instead of them being distractions in the past, now they are like little pieces of candy that I can either use and turn into energy, or I can just admire it for what it is.
And so your answer to the question, do you value your feelings, is what?
The answer is yes now, but in the past, no, because my mind was a slave to conditioning.
Amazing. Well, I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I want to hear from others about it. I appreciate you, Nicholas.
Hey, absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right. I'll put my 2 cents on Sunday. Let me take a break. Amazing hour. Just like that. We're going to get to all of your calls and super chats. 888-7753-773. Hake is coming in with the hate news already, not the fake news, but the Hake, H-A-K-E, news.com. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Kidnapped American, quote-unquote, nurse and daughter, I don't know anything about them, released in Haiti after 2 weeks having been kidnapped. Maui wildfires have killed at least 36, maybe and counting, in Hawaii. 2 Trump employees of color to be arraigned over classified documents. Chin up, Kings. We're pulling for you. And an Ecuadorian presidential candidate assassinated at a rally. Rest in peace, Robbie Robertson, 80-year-old founding guitarist of the band, died after a long illness. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday, August 10th, 2023 AD. Happy Men's History Month, everybody. JLP will be right back to your Bible thumping calls and more. The lines are full, but first, Hake news, not fake news. Don't be playa Haitian, whatever that means. Call me Nonsense Network. CNN reports an American nurse and her daughter, American perhaps with an asterisk, I do not know, have been released in Haiti after being kidnapped around 2 weeks ago. This comes after the abduction garnered international attention and reignited the conversation about Port-au-Prince's kidnapping for profit epidemic in Haiti. Who knew? Corrupt country. And Maui wildfires. At least 36 people have been killed in catastrophic wildfires that are raging across the Hawaiian island of Maui. M-A-U-I. Much of Lahaina, a tourist and economic hub of 9,000 people, has been destroyed and hundreds of families been displaced. More than 270 structures have been impacted, including several historical sites that date back to the 1800s. Wow. Locals and visitors are struggling to leave as power and communication service has been knocked out in several parts of the island. One resident described the scene as apocalyptic, while another said it looks like something out of a horror movie. Most of the fires in Maui, fueled in part by violent winds from Hurricane Dora, churning around 800 miles away, have not been contained yet, according to them. Thereafter, anyone that whom Trump's close to, 2 employees of President Donald Trump, wow, they call him President Donald Trump, nice, they don't call him former, are set to be arraigned today. Once a president, always a president, right? Arraigned today on new charges brought by the special counsel on the case regarding the alleged mishandling of classified documents. Carlos de Oliveira, a property manager, older Hispanic man, I guess, at Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence, and Trump's body man, Walt Nauta, a young man from Guam, former military man, have been charged with multiple offenses related to Trump's alleged unlawful retention of documents after leaving office, purportedly, right? Allegedly. The charges Nauta and de Oliveira, whatever, I don't know, include making false statements, conspiracy to obstruct justice, so-called justice, corruptly altering, destroying, or mutilating, or concealing documents. This indictment also alleges the 2 men asked an employee if they could delete security footage at Mar-a-Lago. The pair also made supposedly false statements to investigators regarding their involvement in moving Trump's boxes out of a storage room, so allege prosecutors. Ecuador. A candidate in Ecuador's upcoming presidential election was assassinated at a rally in the country's capital Wednesday as a deadly escalation of violence grips the South American nation. Fernando Vicencio, apologies, I butchered it, was fatally shot as he was leaving a campaign event at a school north of Quito. 10 days before the first round of the presidential election is set to take place. Ecuadorian President Guillermo Lasso vowed the killing would not go unpunished, saying the full weight of the law will fall on them, meaning the suspects, if they catch them. Lasso announced a state of emergency for 60 days. The immediate mobilization of the armed forces across the country sounds possibly corrupt, but I don't know. And 3 days of national mourning. Might be worth doing, though. The election was set for August 20th, scheduled to go ahead as planned. Guitar player for the band died. I'll tell you about him at the beginning of the next news segment at the top of the next hour. But now back to JLP, Bible Thumper Thursday.
strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week. The biblical question, do you value your feelings? Do you value your feelings? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And also, if you're busy out and about, stuck in the airport, land up at the beach, or flight canceled, you have to go back to your hotel, and you're riding back to the hotel, you can listen to, or you're about to take some fentanyl because you're depressed and say, take yourself out. You can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on cozy.tv/JLP, cozy, COZY.TV/JLP, and Rumble. You got to know how to rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. It's Thursday. It is Bible Thumper Thursday.
It's a scene you don't expect to see at a Sunday church service, a fight in the pulpit.
It's a disgrace.
Whosoever therefore...
Let me hear you speak in tongues.
And I read the Bible cover to cover. Very, very close to my mom, a real mama's boy. You will emerge from that as an atheist.
What did you just say? What a mess. It's a spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil. A warfare between good and evil. And it is, we do Bible Thumper Thursday because we have a little bit more time with the Bible Thumpers, but not a whole lot of time, Bible Thumpers. You try to get to your points as well, because the lines are smoking. Everybody and their mama want a Bible thump. So, amazing. Let me go to Chris. We have a guest coming up, but we're trying to connect with him now. The guest from yesterday, I guess. We'll see what happened with that. We may not even, because he's having some issues on his end, and we may have to do have more a little later, next week or something. Let me go to Chris, a first-time call out of North Carolina. Chris, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Mr. Peterson?
All is well, sir.
Yes, I want to see if I can find the scripture that says that you have to apologize to your mother.
I'm sorry?
I want to find the scripture. You always say that you have to apologize to your mother, so I want to find it in the Bible where you say you apologize to your mother.
Okay, go ahead. You want me to hold while you're looking?
No, I want you to find it for me.
Oh.
I don't know where to find it.
Bible Thumper! It said to honor thy parents, and another place it said before you enter into the kingdom, you must go and forgive.
Yeah, but you say you said forgive your mother.
And what part you don't understand about that?
It don't say it in the Bible.
And so, and as a result, does it tell you have to forgive your father in the Bible?
You have to forgive anybody, your brother, your sister.
It doesn't tell you that
Anybody.
you have to forgive your father in the Bible?
No.
And do you believe you should forgive your father in the Bible?
If you've done something wrong, yes.
But why don't you believe you need to forgive your mother? Why does it have to say mother, but it doesn't have to say father to you, for you?
It can say anyone. It don't specifically have to say your mother.
And so do you believe you should forgive your mother?
If you've done something wrong.
If your mother's done something wrong?
If you've done something wrong.
How about if your mother have done something wrong? Should you forgive her?
She should forgive you probably if she done something wrong.
If your mother has done anything wrong, should you forgive her?
Yes, you can.
If your mother have done anything wrong, should you forgive her?
Yes. But
And
it's
so
not in the Bible that you should forgive your mother.
So, and are you saying because it's not in the, and that's a question, are you saying because it's not in the Bible, you should not forgive your mother?
No, I'm saying that you go on that scripture real hard. So if that's so, then find it in the Bible.
And
like it said, honor their mother and their father so your years may be long. That's in the Bible.
Right. And can you honor them if you don't forgive them?
Yeah.
How do you honor them if you don't forgive them?
Because if they done nothing wrong, why are you forgiving them?
I don't understand what you're saying. You don't believe that your mother have done anything wrong?
No, my mother's done nothing wrong that I know of.
She was perfect?
No, she wasn't perfect. But
And why do you say
didn't do
she
anything.
wasn't? Why do you say she wasn't perfect?
Because nobody's perfect.
But why do you say your mother wasn't perfect?
Because nobody's perfect.
How about your mother? Why do you say your mother wasn't perfect?
She's not perfect, and you're not perfect, and I'm not perfect.
But
Nobody's
then you
perfect.
said that she didn't do anything wrong.
She didn't do anything wrong in my eyes.
What does that mean?
That means I didn't see her do nothing wrong that offended me.
And
didn't
so
do nothing to
she was
offend me.
perfect in your eyes?
Yes.
Amazing. And was your father perfect in your eyes as well?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, so your father wasn't perfect, but your mother was.
Yes, in my eyes. Yes.
And that made sense to you.
Of course it made sense. I got several sisters and brothers out of wedlock.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
So your mother was imperfect.
That wasn't my mother. That was my father.
Oh, amazing. And your mother didn't do anything wrong.
Not in my eyes.
Amazing. Okay, well, I understand. You hang on to that.
But,
see how far you hang on to that and see how far that gets you in life. All right.
Yeah, well, find it in the scripture where it says that you haven't.
I just told you.
Off course. No, that's not what you be saying.
No, you're not accepting it. I understand it. You don't have to. You hold on to what you believe in and believe that Mama was perfect in your eyes, and see how far that gets you in life. See how is that going to make you free. All right.
Yeah, it'll get me a long way.
Okay, a long ways like how?
And I'm going scripture.
When you say a long ways, how? What is a long ways?
A long ways is mean that helped me in life.
In
what
what way?
my mother did was she brought me up to be a good person.
What's,
she brought me up.
Are you a good person?
I try to be. I still strive.
Are you a good person?
We all have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
Are you a good person?
I try to be.
Are you a good person?
I try to be.
No, you're not answering the question. Are you?
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. Is your mother a
Yes,
good
I am.
person?
Yes, she is.
But she's not striving to be. She is.
No, she's gone home to glory. So her striving is complete.
I bet it is.
She fought a good fight.
And so,
she
if your
finished her
mother
course.
was a good person, why aren't you a good person? Why are you striving?
Because long as you're here, you're striving. As long as you're on earth, you're striving.
So a good person created a son that needed to strive, but she was good.
Yes.
And that makes sense to you.
Yes.
How does good create evil?
God created Satan.
How does good create evil in you?
God created Satan.
All right. Thank
God
you, Chris.
put evil in Saul.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. I got to get to my guest, and then we get back to the calls of the super chats, all right? I have with me, just hold on a minute here. He's finally hooked on, I think. I have with me your friend and my friend, Don Grundmann. And we tried to get him on yesterday, but he had some issue with connection. Is he fine on it? Okay, on his line there. He is the head of the National Straight Pride Coalition, hosts a Straight Pride rally annually in Modesto, California. We have gone to several of them. Don, good morning.
Yes, good morning. I'm happy to see you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
You're welcome, man. We finally got you on. I'm glad you're back. And so tell the people about the Straight Pride. What's your purpose and when is it?
Well, the event itself is Saturday, August 26th. It will be from 12 to 2 in Modesto, California. And people, if they want more information, they can go to nationalstraightpridecoalition.org, because we always try to protect our participants, and we've been attacked the last few years by our opponents. So we have security measures we put in place to protect our people to the greatest degree possible. But
yeah, I
we
noticed.
welcome everyone to come out. The event itself is a celebration of life. It's a celebration that all lives matter. And straight pride is the total opposite of sodomite pride.
I noticed that it has over the years. When we first started out, it wasn't that violent when I first started going there, but it has become very violent now. And I believe last year they were the evil ones were so violent that you guys had to go to a different location or something, right?
Yes, we normally protest in front of the Planned Parenthood in Modesto, which is like the local Aztec temple for sacrificing babies. And so our opponents were very violent. The police because they attacked some of our people, the police shut it down as an unlawful assembly. We had to go to the second abortion clinic, which they have there, and protest because they do have a tactic of attacking.
Does that concern you that these people are so evil that they're willing to physically attack you with weapons and all those things? Are you concerned?
No, I look at divine intervention. The Creator will protect us from their attacks. But it's an illustration of what they're desperate across the nation because they have no ability to articulate their positions. You'll never have a debate between them where you'll walk away from the debate saying, hey, they had some really important logical points. They know they have no ability to logically defend their position, and they know what they're doing is totally evil. So their alternative is to attack and try to shut down any opposition to their evil.
And up there, you do not even have the police support on your side. Am I right about that? Because the police can keep them away, but they won't.
Well, we've been fortunate enough to have the police protect us to the greatest degree possible that they can.
All right.
And so I'm thankful for that. And it will just work out as best it can. The Creator will take care of us.
And Don, are you still running for office?
I will be running for U.S. Senate in the upcoming election cycle, yes.
And who will you be running against?
There's Alex Padilla. You have two Democratic senators in the state, Senator Feinstein and Senator Padilla. And so they represent the ruling Democratic Party of the state. I'm the chairman of the Constitution Party in California.
Yeah.
Which we no longer have a connection to the National Constitution Party, but we're just doing the best we can to expose and fight the evil that the straight pride is fighting.
Right. And why don't you have connection with the national? Because you're standing for what is right, and then you're supporting the Constitution. Why don't you have support from the national Constitution?
Well, frankly, I haven't put it on our website yet. I've been somewhat dismayed by its occurrence, but we were purged from the National Constitution Party because of straight pride. When you look at the surface conditions, for instance, you might imagine that the Republicans are totally in favor of pro-life and anti-sodomites, and some are. Thankfully, some are, but unfortunately, some aren't. You have what are called rhinos.
Yeah.
In the same way that part of the Republican Party has fallen to these supporters of evil.
Yeah.
Because the party nationally has fallen. So we have to carry the banner in California despite the national falling to what we call the deep state.
Well, the Republican Party is no different now than the Democratic Party. We only have in reality, when it comes to the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, we only have a one-party system because the Republican Party, for the most part, is no different than the Democratic Party.
Yes, we are starting an answer to that. We're starting the Christian Nationalist Party, which I will inform you of as it develops. But
okay.
That's going to be our answer to the corruption of the parties.
Well, the thing I like about you, Di, you never give up, no matter what. You're from the old school, you never give up, and we need that. We need people that's going to stay with it. I want to ask, so are you having it in front of the same Planned Parenthood where you've been having it before, the National Pride, Straight Pride Rally?
Yes, that is our plan. Of course, our opponents will probably riot and try to stop that.
Yeah.
So we'll always have alternative plans.
Oh, okay. Okay. Your slogan is normal, natural, healthy, sane. Can you explain all that?
Well, that is especially the sane part in an increasingly insane world and nation. We're representing when you see a sodomite parade, there is no such thing as gay. Gay is a marketing term, a social engineering term, an advertising term. The proper word is sodomite. So when you see a sodomite so-called pride, and what are they having pride in? They're having pride in sodomy. They're celebrating that. That is a satanic religious celebration.
Okay.
From top to bottom, it's an anti-Christian celebration. In contrast, straight pride is totally pro-Christian. We celebrate masculinity, femininity, the natural nuclear family. We celebrate children, living children instead of killing them.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about the abortion. I want to ask you about the abortion. Could you speak to the coalition stance on abortion in the black community?
Oh, well, that's why we go in front of Planned Parenthood, because we're protesting the literal genocide of Planned Parenthood against the black community. If you go to blackgenocide.org, it explains that Margaret Sanger, when she founded Planned Parenthood, the surface reason, the cover story was, we're here to help women. Well, really, they were the whole engine behind them was what's called eugenics or race science. And they were dedicated to the proposition that the people who founded Planned Parenthood were genetically superior to their enemies, and they were going to use abortion to kill them. And that spanned not only the black people, who Margaret Sanger herself, in her own words, she called black people human weeds. And not my words, her words.
Yeah.
But they also thought the Irish were the same way, genetically inferior. So they had a broad plan for killing all their enemies. And the end result is that, as we talk today, Planned Parenthood has killed more than 20 million blacks. They're the biggest killers of blacks in the history of our country, and the second biggest in the world behind the Islamic slave trade. So they're totally a genocidal attack against the black community. But the black community, unfortunately, has collapsed so much that, for instance, I think during our first event, the NAACP actually protested us as racist.
I remember that.
When we were protesting against Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
They came out and attacked us and defended Planned Parenthood. That's how badly the black community has been compromised.
When I first discovered what was really going on with this woman, Margaret Sanger, and how she even gave her, I believe, the first award out, I may be wrong about the first, but to Martin Luther King Jr. so she can kind of control the blacks. I was surprised that the NAACP and sound like even Martin Luther King Jr. because he had to know about abortion. He accepted the award. I was surprised that they were in favor of Margaret Sanger encouraging killing the black children inside of the woman's womb when they were pretending to love the blacks, but they were supporting the very woman that was in support of destroying the blacks by killing them by way of abortion. That was stunning to me when I first found out.
Well, excuse me. The unfortunate history is that the same people who created Planned Parenthood are the same people that created the NAACP. And so they can come out and say to the black community, oh, we're your friends, we're your buddies. In fact, if you go to blackgenocide.org, you'll hear about what's called the Negro Project.
Yeah.
The idea was that, let's say that you came out and you said, hey, they're killing blacks, we got to stop them. The idea of the Negro Project would you would take a respected person like a so-called pastor, and he would come up to you and say, oh, Jesse, you got it all wrong. They're really our friends. Let's go out and I'll treat you to lunch and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
The idea is this pastor would neutralize you as a threat. So any blacks who got uppity like you and tried to leave the plantation and stop the killing of the black citizens would be neutralized. And that happens to this very second. That's how Barack Obama got to be president.
Amazing. What will it take
for Kamala Harris is the same thing. The term there's a term called House Negro, which was where the plantation owner would have a black who would go out and stop the uppity blacks from complaining. So our current House Negro is Kamala Harris.
Amazing. So Don, I'm getting a message that we have some technical problems here. Tell the folks how to get your website again, and so they can keep up what's going on.
If they go to nationalstraightpridecoalition.org, all spelled out, they'll find our website, our reasoning, our philosophy behind our event. And so they can go there, and they can go there especially for last-minute instructions, especially in the morning of the event when we try to protect our people where we'll be gathering.
Yeah,
so
those people are getting...
Keep in touch with us that way.
Absolutely. Those people, be careful because those people are getting nastier and nastier. I was just looking at our event in Texas where the governor was trying to get a bill, or maybe passed, that drag queen men cannot play sport in women's sport. And those people the people who came out to protest against that, they didn't want that bill passed. They were so mean and vicious, and they were spitting on the people. They were attacking them. These people are getting worse. But Don, we'll have you back before the 27th. Thank you so much. That is Straight Pride event, Saturday, August 27th.
Actually, it's Saturday, August 26th.
26th. Oh, okay. Saturday, August 26th. National Straight Pride Coalition.org. Thank you, Don.
We're going to have a sane world.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. We'll talk soon.
Okay, thank you for your time. God bless you.
All right, just for the record, I'm being told that your website's saying it's the 27th, so y'all may want to check that out.
Well, yeah, we've been late in changing our website, so that's part of what we have to do.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Don.
Thank you for that information. Take care. God bless you.
You too, buddy. 888-7753-773. National Straight Pride Coalition.org. This is Straight Pride event is Saturday, August 26th. Even though on the website it says the 27th, but it's really the 26th. All right? Thank you, Don. Let me go quickly to Josh out of Connecticut. 888-7753-773. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Jesse?
All is well, sir.
Hey, I had a question for you, man, because I've been listening for a while, but I've been noticing something. Noticing a couple of things and even contradictions of some sort.
Speak up a little bit, Josh.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, I've been
on the
listening
speaker?
for a while, and I've been noticing.
Are you on the
things about
speaker,
the show.
Josh?
No, I'm not. I'm on my phone.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been noticing a little bit of stuff about your show. I've been noticing contradictions as well. But yesterday you said that you don't believe in Jesus Christ, right?
Right.
And I wanted to know what you're a pastor or a preacher?
Yeah, a pastor.
A pastor? So who is your God? Like, can you name your God for me, please? Because my God is Yahweh, Father of Jesus Christ. And if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, who is your God?
And who is Yahweh?
Yahweh, God of Abraham, great Elohim, I am.
Are you talking about
Father
Jesus?
Of Jesus Christ. Hmm?
Are you talking about Jesus when you say Yahweh?
I'm talking about the Father.
Are you talking about Jesus or God?
I'm talking about Jesus is the Son. I'm talking about the Father, God.
But why are you calling?
I am.
Why are you calling God Yahweh when Jesus' name was Yahweh? Jesus means Yahweh or something like that. Yeshua or
Jesus'
something
name
like that.
is Yeshua, it's not Yahweh.
So
His
are
name
you
is
calling
Yeshua.
Jesus God?
I didn't say that. I'm calling Jesus the Son. I'm asking you, who is your God if you do not believe in Yeshua, Jesus Christ?
Well,
because that will make you an anti-Jesus Christ. You're anti-Christ-like if you don't believe in Jesus Christ.
Your trouble is a little troubling because I don't clearly understand it. But I do believe it. I know God. God is my God. And I know Jesus, he is my brother.
Okay. Now, what is the name of your God? Because anyone
Father.
Lucifer can call himself God.
I call him Father.
So you call him Father.
Yeah.
But what is his name?
Daddy.
His name is Yahweh.
I'm sorry? Well, that's the name.
Why I wanted to know.
Are you saying that's what
because
that's the name you call him by? You used to call him?
No. You read it in the Bible itself. Why?
You asked me, what do I call him? I said Father, right? Are you saying that?
I'm asking you, who is your God if you're a preacher? If you're a preacher preaching to the masses, who is your God?
The God that created heaven and earth and me and everything.
Because I'm noticing a lot of your callers coming back and they're
Joshua,
starting to think that you're spreading confusion.
Joshua.
Yes, sir.
The God that created heaven and earth and me and everything is my Father.
That's your Father. I understand that, but yes, any deity can say that.
I'm sorry?
I want to know the name of your Father. And of course, you said that you do not believe in Jesus Christ. The Father tells you to believe in Jesus Christ because he is God's forsaken Son who he sent down here to bear our sins. So
but no, he doesn't tell you. He doesn't tell you to believe in Jesus. He tells you to believe the message that the Son brought. And when you believe the message, believe the message, you believe the Father.
Jesus' gospel is the message. The gospel is that Jesus died for your sins. If you don't believe in Jesus, then what do you believe in?
Does God tell you to believe in Jesus?
God tells you.
Where does God tell you to believe in Jesus?
Well, you're the preacher.
No, you're the one that's saying that it said. I told you he didn't say that.
No.
I told you that he didn't say that, and you're telling me that he did. I'm asking, where does he tell you to believe in Jesus?
It's written out throughout the entire Bible.
Where? Where?
Gospel.
Where?
You know what? You want the answer? I don't know where to find it in the Bible.
I think so.
It is in
I
the Bible.
didn't think so because God said to only have faith in God.
No, he doesn't.
In the Bible, I don't know about your little Israelite Bible. I don't know about your little Israelite Bible, but in the Word, he tells you to only have faith in God.
If you want to obey God,
Josh, hold on, buddy. Let me take a break. Hold on, don't hang up. 888-7753. 773. 888-77 Jesse. Quick break. Back in a moment. I think everything should be working now. Is everything working, guys? Okay, everything's fine. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry. because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't wanna be angry. You wanna speak up, you wanna disagree with what's going on, it's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear, you won't have doubt, you won't have worries, you'll be able to see, but you gotta stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Folks, it seems as though everything is working well now. I just want to remind you before we go to check out the Straight Pride event by going to nationalstraightpridecoalition.org. And again, the event is Saturday, the 26th, even though on their site it says the 27th, because those people up there that come and fight against Don and what he's doing are really, really mean and nasty, and they are violent. And so they have to try to work it where they can get around that or not. I mean, around that. All right, so check it out. The Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake report.com. The Hake report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And today, Hake has a guest, Asmador. Shout out to Asmador. Asmador, and the resident historian. And so Hake is not on YouTube right now this week. I guess he'll be back on next week. So you have to go to all of his site so you can see how to listen to that. At 9 a.m. this morning, from 9 to 11. He's still not on YouTube, just until next week. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby, 12 noon Pacific time. The American Anchor Baby, Monday through Thursday, and on Friday at 4 p.m. All right? Don't forget, for personalized shout-outs, go to Jesse Lee Peters, Cameo, CAMEO / Jesse Lee Peterson, CAMEO / Jesse Lee Peterson. All right? Whatever the occasion is, birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, and all that stuff. And people ask me, how can I support you, Jesse? How should I? We can't do it on YouTube anymore. You can go to buymeacoffee.com / Jesse Lee Peterson. And there are other areas, but I don't have them listed here, so I don't know where you can go. But go to, let me see if I think of something. I said buy me a coffee. What the? Are there any other thing? Cash.app / bond JLP. All right? And also rumble.com. You got to know how to rumble. Rumble.com / Jesse Lee Peterson. Let me go quickly back to Josh. It's Bible Thumpin Thursday and Happy Men's History as well. August is Men's History Month. So, Josh, it doesn't tell you to believe in Jesus. Are you still there, Josh?
Yes, I am, sir.
But it does tell you to have faith in God.
The Bible tells you to keep, if you love God, you keep His 10 Commandments.
What does that have to do with believing in Jesus?
And it also tells you that to get to heaven, the pathway is very long and very narrow. And the only way to get to heaven is through Yeshua, Yehoshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ.
It says that whoever believes it says whoever believes the Son, believe into the Father. So when you believe the message that God sent through the Son, then you believe back to the Father. But if you believe in the Son but not the message, you're not going to get to the Father.
Oh, that's perfectly fine, but that's
and it doesn't say that it's
what you were saying.
It doesn't say that it's very long and narrow. It says that it's straight and narrow.
Straight and narrow. What is the definition of straight is long.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about translations from Hebrew.
Amazing.
But Jesse, the mere fact that you're contradicting yourself from now, you didn't believe in Jesus a second ago, but now you believe in the Son.
I believe in the message.
You said this yesterday. You do not believe in Jesus.
Joshua, calm down.
Yes, sir.
Calm down. Are you a black Israelite?
I am a Jamaican American.
Are you an Israelite?
No, sir. Yes, I am. Technically, yes, I am. Technically, I am an Israelite.
So are you a black Israelite?
Technically, yes, sir.
So then why you say you were not? You were not.
No, well, technically, I am an Israelite because I'm a believer in Jesus Christ.
Why did you say you were not?
I was confused in the moment, but I corrected myself.
Oh, just like you're confused by Jesus.
Excuse me?
Just like you're confused about Jesus. You got all that mess about, Yeshua, I'm on point, Yeshua. Just a bunch of mess. That's all. That's all.
You're blaspheming
it's just
against
a bunch
God
of mess
right now.
I'm sorry?
You're blaspheming against Jesus right now. You're showing your true colors as the Antichrist.
What do you mean by blaspheming against Jesus?
Look at you. Look, you just said it. You're making fun of the name of Jesus Christ.
How is that?
Yehoshua HaMashiach.
What?
How is that? Take it back 5 seconds. Just say la 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 la. That's you, Jesse.
No,
that was a
soundbite.
You're supposed to be a preacher.
Hey, Josh. That was a soundbite. It wasn't me.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You did it.
All right. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. 888-775-3773. That was a soundbite of a guy that used to call my show, and he spoke in tongue for me. I asked him to speak in tongue for me. So Hassan played that. He must be you're the blasphemer with your rap change on today.
What the?
Hassan played that soundbite. It wasn't me. What the? Super chat. Super.
Super chat.
Super chat.
Amazing.
Good morning.
Good morning. So you have your little rapper change on. Let me see it.
Oh, yeah. But I got Jesus on my shirt, so.
I know. You have Jesus as a rapper?
No, I got Jesus on, so I'm not blaspheming.
But you rapping. Is that him on your arm, too?
Yeah.
And then you have the cross in the front there? Are you sure?
Yep.
Right on.
Double Jesus.
And the rap change, the little rap golden chain mean what?
Oh, no, this is just more like this isn't really like a rap chain. This is more like a dog collar kind of vibe.
A dog collar?
Yeah, more like for like a Sandman kind of thing.
Oh. Who let the dogs out?
What a mess.
You be coming like your dog. Amazing. Super chat.
Super chat.
Super chats.
On buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, 1745 is now a member, a supporting member of JLP Talk on Buy Me a Coffee.
Thank you.
He states, "Hey Jesse, 2 weeks ago I went to my God-hating parents, what a mess, and told them I'm sorry I resented them, and I forgive them for what they did to me. My mom said she had no idea I resented them. LOL, lots of laughs."
Amazing. Right on, right on, right on. So now just do the silent prayer and watch. Watch those thoughts. Do nothing but watch. You haven't seen anything.
1745 continues. Last weekend, my dad said he loved me for the first time ever.
Wow.
What the?
What the?
My life is changing daily. Amazing.
That's right. Stay with it. Stay with it. Really, really. Don't give up no matter what situation comes. Let it pass. Thank you.
Soul Conscious bought 5 coffees. Jesse, I don't think America will ever come back because the people have stopped working on self, and everyone is possessed but doesn't know it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a mess. All the wrong people in the right places to make sure my country doesn't return. It's no longer Tears of Thee. What the? Thank you. Amazing.
Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds this morning. Chris Crispy is eating right now. Biscuits, eggs, 8 donuts, and a whole plate of turkey bacon.
Good. Thank you. What a mess.
Nangiti Aviankoi. Hi, Jesse. This is from Buy Me a Coffee. I watched The Pope's Exorcist yesterday. I realized even more. Thoughts keep us in pure hell.
Absolutely.
Also, people love your race. People love your race and yourself. It's wild how many Dutch and more grown men proud of themselves in not like being a white man and laughing about it while drinking beers in the cafe. So I ask, how does it feel to be a minority in the upcoming 20 years? Real men are a dying species, and this is not great for nobody.
Yeah.
LOL, lots of laughs. That usually gets them thinking. Keep up the great work, JLP and Bond. And no, women do not like boys. They want a man, alpha men.
Yeah.
God bless.
Thank you. And you're absolutely right. Women are hungering and thirsting for a real man, an independent, free man from within. Not to have your little money and your little house is nice, but to live on the earth. But they're looking for a man that is free within, that don't need them, but can lead them. L-E-A-D, not N-E-E-D. Ooh, I didn't know how to spell. I was scared to spell that word.
Nice.
What the? But they're looking for that. And so, ladies, I would encourage you, ladies, not to wait. Go to the Father. Go forgive your mothers and return to your father, your earthly father, by forgiving him, and you can go straight to God as well. You don't have to wait for the man, especially if you're not married. And even if you are married and your husband don't want to return to what is right, don't resent him, and you still can go to the Father, all right? You're not locked in. You're not locked in. You're not locked away from God. Thank you. Amazing.
Star Zion, or Zion, not sure, bought a coffee.
Did she change her name?
She's always changing her name, yes.
Oh, why?
Not legally necessarily, but she has 1,000 names. I've seen her call herself Araya, or I'm not probably butchering the pronunciation. Sion, Zion, all kinds of mess.
Oh, so no,
not mess. All kinds of lovely names.
He said I was kind of mess. So we really don't. Sion might not be her real name.
Right.
Oh, I always thought of her as her real name is Sion.
Me too.
I think Sion is her real name.
It's just.
Why do you think that?
Maybe it's spelled in various ways.
So many different names.
Well, no, she kind of changes it, but stays in the same zone. But she just changes it for like whatever's going on at the moment.
Well, how do you know her real name is Sion? That makes you change that in a moment.
That's true. That's a good point.
No. It's a question.
I don't know for sure.
Huh?
I don't know.
But you seem so sure.
Well, because it's always
Sion.
But maybe Ethiopians have long and different names, and the writing is different from the English language, and so you can write it in different ways. And also, there's like a first, maybe even a middle, maybe a last name.
Assuming.
I'm not assuming anything. I'm just saying maybe.
But is it maybe assuming?
No, maybe is speculating.
And I'm just saying is that when she changes it still in the zone of Sion.
Oh, she does?
Yeah,
what are the names?
Araya.
How is Raya in
Well, I've never seen that one.
Oh.
Anyway.
Are you assuming?
I am.
Are you really?
Well, it's more like a educated hypothesis of.
Oh, so an educated hypothesis is better than an assuming.
But he's not saying it is this way. He's just saying.
Assuming.
Anyway.
But go ahead, read that.
Oh, yeah. Star Zion says, Jesse, you came to Georgia and didn't see me? I didn't know you were even going to come to Georgia, GA. I'm a woman scorned again. And
Georgia, oh my. I didn't know you were in Georgia.
And then side eye looking, somewhat half smile emoji. Boy, bye. Let me know next time when you come.
I will.
Bring Hank with you.
Ooh. Who do you want?
Whoa.
So let me ask us, what part of Georgia are you in, Sia?
Maybe the chicken bone capital of the world. Chicken bone littering the whole streets of Atlanta.
Amazing.
I don't know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I will let you know.
Nangiti, equals not from Africa. And I could be butchering the name. Bought a coffee, another coffee.
Buy me a coffee.
Saying, by the way, BTW, I have an automated subscription to Bond via rebuildingtheman.com. That is auto pledge donation.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Easy with PayPal, she says. I think it's she. So YouTube can just suffer and die. But actually happy we can still see the show via YouTube. So thank you, YouTube? Question mark?
Yeah, don't suffer and die. Thank you.
Capital D, which is a big smiley face emoji.
Thank you very much. And how should the people sign up with that?
Rebuildingtheman.com/donate.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be through PayPal. Say you don't trust PayPal. It can be through bank account or debit, credit, whatever.
Okay, thank you.
Best show on this side of heaven.
Amazing.
Thank you, Nangiti.
Thank you.
Nangiti. I have books that are amazing, donated to Diamond. Saw the Pope film.
And the Pope is tit.
The Pope's Exorcist.
Oh, nice.
He says, could you explain why you liked it?
Because it showed that all human beings are possessed. And they dramatize it somewhat, but it's still the same spirit. And that's what's holding, that's what's controlling all human beings until they overcome the spirit of thoughts, of the imagination. All thoughts are all lies, all the time. Thoughts are thieves. They really are. And every human being have that problem, and they think that it's something else, anything but what it really is. They don't see that they're possessed. And I thought that movie brought that out quite well. You agree, Hassan, to that?
I do. It was amazing and very funny.
Yeah.
You know, the way that he handled things in a joking manner, kind of, but very serious, but still had it. And he had books that were amazing.
I know. The actor did an amazing job. What's his name?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe did an amazing job in it. Thank you, though. It was about the possession of human beings. The devil made a home in human beings, and most humans don't know that. And then some know it, but they love it. They don't want to change. They love their wicked heart. They love the mind of the devil. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And last one for now. Someone bought a coffee asking, can a man be godly and not a Christian?
Yes. Because Christian is just the name of, it's just the name of an organization that you say you belong to, but that's not really who you are. So absolutely, it's spiritual.
And thank you guys. That's all for now.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know that some of you know about YouTube not supporting us, but thank you for finding other ways to get around it. We have a lot of work to do. Nice. Tell the folks about your upcoming show real fast.
Well, I'm excited because I'm going to have a guest today, Asmodor of the Crypto Report. He's interviewed you.
Yeah.
He's interviewed Hake a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I refer to him as our resident historian on the Hake Report.
At 9 a.m.
Because he knows stuff. Yeah, at 9 a.m. Pacific time, that's 11 Central, noon Eastern. thehakereport.com.
Pacific time.
Not live on YouTube, but on all the other platforms.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me go to M out of West Coast. M, welcome to the show. You're on the air. M?
I'm here, sir. Sorry about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Speak up a little bit for me. Speak up.
Can you hear me okay?
Speak up a little bit. Speak from the chest.
Okay, can you hear me better?
I can, yes.
Okay, so I heard mention it's Men's History Month, so happy Men's History Month for everybody.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you all. I wanted to, before my question, I just wanted to give like an update. The first time I called, you had asked like if I forgave my parents, and I said yes. And then I recognized whenever I hear my mother, so, you know, occasionally she calls and speaks to my child, I felt like anger was rising up because I could see some of the stuff the similar things in communication. And so I recognized like I really didn't truly forgive. And so I had called her and I had the conversation, and it was what I recognized. It's not just saying, oh, yes, I forgive my mom, but it was like, it literally felt like a bag of bricks came out of my heart. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just felt lighter, physically even lighter. And, you know, I had the conversation. I told her, that I had forgiven her. And since then, I mean, I'm still very careful. I don't really let her have conversations by herself with my child. Once in a while, you know, she can check, kind of check in, we talk. But it's like it doesn't anger. I can see it. Okay, I can see what's going on. And as a parent, you know, that's part of the protection, too. And caring for
absolutely.
My child.
People don't realize that God protects his children by allowing them to see what's going on, not only within themselves, but inside of other people as well.
Yes. And it's like when I can see some things in myself, I recognize that's where I was really allowing the enemy to control me, as I would shame myself. So like, and not even that it was more so I'm listening to the lies of shame, and that really, really controlled me so much. And so ever since I had that conversation with her, I just feel lighter.
Amazing.
And even when there's moments when I see, it's like almost I see her come up in me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, don't condemn, don't judge, see it. Okay, I don't need to do that again. Like, that's not the way to go about it. And it's just, you know, for anyone listening, like, I don't know, that man that called earlier about his mom was perfect. It's a delusion.
Right.
It's a delusion.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's, unfortunately, many men today think like that. And I think especially in single parent homes.
Yeah. Em, can you hold for me?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, I got to take a break. One more hour to go. Hake is coming in with the Hake news, not the fake news, but the Hake. H-A-K-E news. And I'll be back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
What a mess going on in the world. The 3 men are charged in that Montgomery boat dock brawl. And Sleepy Biden, also known as Obama administration Part 2, getting their grubby little fingers, meddling hands into the AI world. It's disgusting. This is the end of Hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday, August 10th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for Hour 3. Last hour with JLP is coming right back to your calls. And there is one line open, by the way, so you can call in. But before JLP returns, it's Hake News, not fake news. And after the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the HakeReport.com. Not live on YouTube, but live on all the other platforms, including TalkStream Live and JLP Live audio player and my video channels. And of course, American Anchor, baby, after Hake at noon Pacific time today on YouTube and Rumble. Check him out. It's always excellent and fun. The guitar player for the band died. Call Me Nonsense Network, CNN, and also the Crypto Report, which is Asmodor's outlet, a guest who's coming on to Hake today, report that rest in peace, Robbie, R-O-B-B-I-E, Robertson, the 5-time Grammy nominee and co-founder of The Band. Ever heard of them? He's died after battling a long illness per his publicity agency announcing yesterday, Wednesday. He was 80 years old. Our resident historian, Asmodor, who will appear on the Hake Report, states that Robbie Robertson wrote The Weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, as in heavyweight, and other hits. And that boat dock brawl. 2 men charged in connection with a brawl that at a Montgomery riverfront dock are in police custody per Alabama authorities. A 3rd man, or male anyway, right, was also charged with 3rd-degree assault in connection with the fight and turned himself in earlier. Video of the incident shows the brawl escalate after a black, and they capitalized the B in the word black because their kiss-ups, Call Me Nonsense Network, is fake news. So I guess Hake News is too, right? After the black employee was attacked by several men, he might have touched their property unjustifiably or poor, ill-advised action, maybe. And several men were identified by authorities as white. Call Me Nonsense is sure to mention. One witness alleged in a sworn statement to police that a racial slur was used. The horror. Give me a break. That's what you're supposed to do when you're fighting. It's expected. Anyway, Montgomery Police Chief Daryl J. Albert told Call Me Nonsense his department still believes the brawl was not racially motivated. The police chief said, which is stupid, it's just dumb speculation. The police chief said investigators worked with the FBI, the bunch of liberals, to examine whether to file hate crime charges in this case, but were unable to present any inciting a riot or racially based charges at this time. Get the FBI out of here. AI, artificial intelligence. The Biden administration announced new rules Wednesday barring some U.S. investments in advanced technology industries in China. The new restrictions notably restrict investments in Chinese AI, meant to prevent American knowledge and money from flowing to a country to that country at the moment of heightened tensions with Beijing. The administration said the move to tighten the amount of cutting-edge technology available to the Chinese military and help better protect the national security. Chinese foreign ministry called the proposed investment restrictions a blatant act of economic coercion and scientific and technological bullying, whose real purpose was to deprive China of their right to development. Big Brother contestant ousted from the show. It's a show, reality show, I guess. After using a supposed racial slur, CBS has kicked out Luke Valentine off of the show after he used a racial slur on Tuesday night's live-streamed episode. What a mess. What a mess. I thought this was America. And oil production is back on the rise in America, and Ukraine is begging for more, and the suckers are giving it. What a mess. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
To stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. That's amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week: do you value your feelings? Do you value your feelings? It's a very interesting question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And anywhere in the world, if you're out and about, busy, whatever, you can podcast the show, of course, but you can listen to the show as well. You working out, having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because we are heard in every time zone you can think of around the world. You can call the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and cozy.tv/JLP. And we are on Kick as well. Kick. As well. All right. Hit the like button, ring the bell, subscribe. Y'all know exactly what to do. What the? It's Bible Thumper Thursday. It's the last hour on Thursday for the Bible Thumper Thursday. It is Bible Thumper Thursday.
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
I am the daughter of two pastors.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
President Joe Biden is only the second Catholic president.
The Pope is like, if you don't. They call him the Holy Father. Ain't nothing holy about the Pope.
God, why? Why George, God?
Holy mackerel.
You preach for us and then tell us what it is you mean.
I can't believe you people follow a man. It's amazing. A spiritual battle. I want to go back to M out of West Coast. I had to put her on hold because of the break there. We ran out of time in the last hour. And she forgave her mother, and she's talking about how free, because she can see. I once was blind, but now I see. Let's see here. M. Hey, M. Hello? Hold on. Sean, check her phone and let me know, and I'll come back to her. Let me go to Lynn out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Lynn, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
I'm in Fort Gaines, Georgia. Are you familiar with that area?
For what?
Fort Gaines, just on the other side of Eufaula, Alabama.
Oh yeah, I am absolutely.
Yeah. Did you ever catch any fish out of the Eufaula River, Eufaula Lake?
I have not, but I do have family members who have. I've never gone there to fish. I normally would fish down by my house. We had a creek, and I would go right behind the house to the creek and fish.
In Midway?
Yes.
Yeah, I go through there quite often. I move into Montgomery, Alabama. So
right on. Amazing.
Oh, and the guy got upset because the security officer did push his. I think it was a Sea Ray. It was like a 34-footer. He tried to push it away from the dock.
Oh, you're talking about the fight that happened in
yes.
In what was that? In Montgomery, Alabama. You said that the black guy got upset or the white guy got upset?
The black guy was upset. The white guys, I guess, were in the marina, and he went over and untied their boat and tried to push it away from the dock.
Oh, okay. And so the white guy, and she's talking about this fight that happened down in Montgomery. And and so the white guy tried to push the black guy boat away from the dock.
No, it was the security officer was the black guy,
okay.
And there was a boat coming in that has some passengers on it. So, like I said, they weren't at the area. So when they came out, he had taken and untied their boat, a big boat, like a Sea Ray, and had pushed it away from the dock. So it upset him. And then you had a bunch of people screaming from the boat, just being really crazy. And I think that incited the other guy, the security officer, and, before it's over with, he's throwing his hat, and they're just into it.
Yeah, what a mess. It's amazing to see so many adult people fighting now. When I was growing up, rarely, if any time, did I see adults fighting. I rarely saw children fighting like that in the streets. But it's amazing to see adult men and women fighting now.
Or to hear a bunch of them screaming, just absurdities,
Yes.
It just inflames a situation.
Yeah, what a mess. It's because they're pushing anger as love. They're telling the people anger is good. Jesus was angry. It's okay to be angry. And the devil is having his way.
He is.
Amazing.
Can I ask you, since I've been in Montgomery, I've gone into 4 different, it's like they call them beauty salon houses where they sell wigs. Every one of them that I've gone into has been just a horrible experience. They don't want to help me. I'm white. They don't want to help me. I was told at one, you can't lauder in here because I had no help trying to pull what I seen that I wanted. So they're very hateful when you go into one of their beauty supply homes.
Are these black businesses?
Yes, black, and I think one of them is a Middle Eastern as well.
Well, I would recommend you go to white businesses because it's not safe for white people anymore.
No, but I'm in Montgomery, so I'm not even sure where to find a white business.
Well, you better look on Google because you can find it on Google. I would recommend you look on Google, and if you go into one of these stores or businesses and they don't want you there because you're white, just say, "Oh, okay." Wish them well, and go find a white business to do your shopping with.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd be making another trip into any of the 5 that are near me.
Yeah,
every one of them, it just seemed like they were all in the same narrative.
Yeah,
white people are not supposed to be in here buying.
It's unfortunate in that the blacks and now other colored people have been made to believe that the white man is their enemy, and then because they believed into that lie that white people are racist, white people do this and that, they're hurting themselves by believing into a lie that's been passed down from other children of the lie who hate God. And the people are not thinking for themselves anymore. Most people don't. They're not willing to be individuals. And so if they don't want your business, just wish them well. They have a right to not want it. You just go and Find a business that will give you amazing service. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And
don't-
I just find it very strange. I've never had that problem before.
Because they've been brainwashed. We now have South Africa in America, and white people's lives are at risk now everywhere, all over this country, even in the so-called red states, because the blacks and now some of the, as you said, the other colored people have believed that they are losers because of white people. So be careful, Lynn.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I have a scripture for you, and I have one for Hake.
Okay.
Here's yours. It's from John 10. And I give unto you, and I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish. Neither shall any man be plucked out of my hand. My Father, which gave them me, is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and the Father are one.
Amazing. And that means what to you?
It means that to me, it's saying I am the Father. That Jesus, He is the Father.
That Jesus the Son or the Father?
Jesus and God are one. He's saying that I and the Father are one.
Yes, absolutely. And those who return to the Father will become one with the Father as well, because He lives in us.
And here's one for Hake. Okay, let me see. Hold on, I gotta find it real quick. Here it is.
Before you read that, I just want to be clear. Are you saying that Jesus is the Son or the Father?
It says that the Father and I are one.
But does that make you believe that the Son is God too?
That's what it makes me believe, that the Father is one with the Son.
But the Son does have the Father's nature.
Yes, of love.
And you know how you have kids, Lynn?
I have a daughter.
And so you and your daughter are one, right? Well, she might not like you now, but we might not be one now. But but when does she look like you?
No, she looks like her dad.
Oh, do you hate her?
Do I hate her?
Yes.
No, I can whip her butt sometimes by her behavior, but no, I never hate her.
Did you hate her when she was young and looking like her daddy?
No, I didn't. Well, actually, when she was delivered and I looked at her and I just saw her father all over her.
And you were like, send her back.
I was like, here, you carry her. She looks like you.
See? I told you.
She's grown up to just like him as well. I see a little bit of me as she gets older, but it's all him.
Yeah. How old is she now, your daughter?
She's 28.
Oh, okay. She gone away from you?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
So, Lynn, you wanted to read one for Hake. Go ahead.
I do. Okay, this is from the book of Amos in the Old Testament, chapter 9. Let's see. Hold on, flip back up. It is he who builds his upper chambers in the heavens and has established his vaulted dome over the earth. He who calls upon the waters of the sea and pours them out over the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. In the New Testament, it calls it the truth, but the truth is actually a band around the earth.
Oh. And so that's for Hake?
That's for Hake because he's a flat earther.
Oh. But Hake is not a flat earther.
Hake had on a flat earther shirt.
Right, because they gave it to him.
Ah!
But he's not
tell him just to send it to me then.
Are you a flat earther?
I am.
You believe the earth is flat?
I do.
No wonder you believe Jesus is God. What the?
Hey, look, if he pours the waters over the face of the earth, it's not under or to the sides, it's over the face. So it's a level area.
Oh, and that's why you believe it's flat?
I believe it's flat because he's got a dome over it.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. But Hake does not, he's not a flat earther. They gave him the Flat Earth Award. That's what happened.
All right. I thought we were siblings in belief.
I know. What the? Well, thank you, Lynn. I got to run, but thank you, and I wish you well out there. Be careful out there in that mean old world, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. God bless.
All right. Call me again.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Did M hang up? Okay, she's got M. Call me back. You had a question. Did she ever get her phone right, Sean? Oh, okay. She got her phone working, but call me back, M, when you get a chance. 888-7753-773. It's Bible Thumper Thursday. Ray is a first-time call out of Michigan. Ray, welcome to the show.
Hello. What's going on, Jesse?
All is well, Ray.
Awesome. It's so good talking to you, man. I have so much love and respect for you. You are so amazing. And I watch all of your content, even the content from the 90s. You've always been the same. Always been the same.
Thank you.
So I want to say, first off, happy Men's History Month. I love that you celebrate that.
Yes, sir. August is Men's History Month. Thank you.
Now, I am not a Bible thumper at all. You have shown me that believing in the Bible is completely wrong. I should only believe in God. And that actually allowed me to be able to read the Bible with no emotion, and I'm able to understand it on an amazing level.
Right on, man. Yes,
I do
sir.
have a question for you, though.
Okay.
Because it is Bible Thumper Thursday, I have a Bible question for you.
All right.
So it says in the Bible, I'm not going to read a whole bunch for you, obviously, but it says that when God saw the wickedness of man in the earth, it repented the Lord that he made man of the earth, and it grieved him at his heart, right? And so that's when he made the flood happen. But he said that the book says that Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So I'm saying all that to ask you, would Noah be considered perfect if God saw Noah and how he was raising his children to save them?
Would Noah be considered perfect?
Right.
I don't know. I don't quite understand the question.
Well, I'm asking because so Jesus is perfect as I understand him to be, because he is the Son of the Lord. But if everyone in the world was wicked and God saw that everything in the world was wicked, I want to know, what was it about Noah that made him find grace in the eyes of the Lord? Because I'm asking this because if Noah was able to do it, then I believe we all have the ability to be like Noah.
Well, one thing for sure, you do have the ability to return to the Father, and the only thing that is preventing you from returning to Him, well, maybe there are two things, a couple things. Number one is that you must forgive first, because you're not going to ever enter into the kingdom of God until you forgive. Because anyone that has anger is an unforgiving person. They have anger. Satan is their God, and wickedness cannot enter into the kingdom. So you must do that. And then once you stop believing thoughts and identifying with the false nature, all these ideas you have about yourself and others and plans and all that, once you stop that, you're back home. The moment you stop believing that, you're back home. And from what I read about Noah, he seemed to be a noble man. He seemed to. I don't know a lot about him, so I can't really comment.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted your thoughts. I think you're very wise. And I do have one more small question. So most people can, when you ask, because I watch you all the time, you talk to so many people, you can ask someone, do they believe that hell is on earth, or people live in hell on earth? And
yes.
They no doubt believe that is possible. But when you ask them, can you have heaven on earth, they deny it completely.
I noticed that.
Yeah, so I want to know, why do you think that their logic, like, that should work for them but it doesn't work when it comes to heaven on earth.
Because they are blind and cannot see. They have been brainwashed to believe that somehow when they die, that's when they go into heaven. So they have a false illusion about heaven. They have been believed into a lie. Once you believe into a lie, unless you want to see the truth, you're not going to be able to see the truth. But in reality, heaven is above, but it's also inside of us. And you can overcome the hell that's inside, and you have heaven on earth. But if you don't overcome the hell on inside of you, you're going to have hell on earth. They're just blind, Ray, and can't see.
Amazing. And I would like to very quickly answer the biblical question, if I may.
Do you value your feelings? Do you value your feelings?
No.
And why not?
Because feelings are just an illusion that the devil has put inside of me to be attached to him, because he's jealous of us. So when I don't allow myself to be attached to my feelings, I can see truth, unbiased truth, and I can be closer to God.
Amazing. Are you doing, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate that. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
No, Jesse, and I'm sorry to say that, but I am I am doing it. I will do it, and I will tell you why. Because I don't do it every night, every morning, every night, because the first time I did it, I was terrified. I was completely terrified of my thoughts and of just sitting in the present and watching my thoughts. Yeah. It made me so scared that I did not want to try it until I felt the strength to try again.
Really?
So, yeah, it really did. You blew my mind with that. And for anyone who isn't understanding that is the best thing you can do, then you are denying yourself of the truth. So I will do it every morning and every night starting today. I will do this today for the rest of my life.
And who was it that was afraid when you sat there first to do it? Who was it?
My identity.
Right. So it wasn't you.
Right.
It was the devil inside of you afraid of the light. And he was freaking out. And because you had identified with the devil all your life, you thought you were freaking out. But the devil was trembling because of the light that was showing you those thoughts, him. And he knows that he cannot stay inside of you if you continue to bring the light in like that. And that's who was trembling. It was never you.
Thank you so much, Jesse. You are a blessing.
How old are you?
I'm 30. I turned 30 this year.
Right on. Well, stay with it. Don't stay away from the light. You bring the light into the darkness and let the light tremble, and the light will, let the darkness tremble, and it will have to leave you and go make a home in another body.
Yes, sir.
All right. Amazing. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Amazing. I totally understand. A lot of people tremble when they sit still. And they think that it's them, but it's not them. And they run away from the light because they become afraid, thinking that it's them, but it's not them. Isn't that amazing? Kay is out of Georgia. Georgia, oh my. Kay.
Good morning, Jesse. How are you today?
All is well. How are you, Kay?
All is well. We're having storms again over in the southeast, but you know what? We're safe.
That's right. Amazing.
We're declaring ourselves safe.
Right.
I wanted to answer your biblical question of the week.
Do you value your feelings? Do you value your feelings?
No, and this is why. Can you go back to the 1950s? Can you remember back that far?
Can I remember? Can you? 1950s? Not quite right now.
Back in the 50s, there was a movie called The Tender Trap, and it featured Debbie Reynolds. And The Tender Trap, the definition of it is to be in love, bound up in passion, and tied up in another person so inextricably and completely that you can hardly distinguish the two halves from the whole, to be melded in body and soul in an achingly tender trap where escape is unthinkable. And immediately I thought, you know what? That is the kind of relationship that God is calling each and every one of us into. And when you have that kind of relationship with Him, your feelings don't exist because you're so melded in with Him that you're feeling what He's feeling, if there is a feeling. You're thinking His thoughts, doing what He does, and it's a perfect relationship. And the other reason I don't believe in feelings is because if I do as you've instructed, which is to let my ego die, then my feelings have to die. Therefore, I don't have any.
Amazing.
Makes sense?
I would love to respond and put my little 2 cents in, but I got to wait until Sunday. But I do appreciate you responding to the question. It is definitely food for thought. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday during the fellowship.
Okay. Thank you. You have a great day.
You too. Amazing. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Arthur out of Colorado. Arthur, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse.
Hey, Arthur.
So, I used to be one of those people that thought that Jesus had that self-righteous anger too as well, and I no longer believe that. My question is about God. Do you think God got angry in His own ways? I'm finding out that there are verses in the Bible that say God is getting angry, and I just kind of felt that was interesting and wanted to know your thoughts about that.
He did not get angry in the way that human beings get angry. He wasn't emotional, judgmental, fearful, angry like human being. He was able to see injustice and deal with it without having to be emotional or feeling anything about it. And that's what's going to happen to you when you overcome anger. You will be able to see injustice inside of others and inside of you, but you won't feel anything about it. You will be able to deal with it in the light, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So God's anger isn't necessarily like what human anger would be like. It's different. He's God, right?
Right.
Is that
human anger is of the devil. Any human being that has anger, their nature, their identity, their God is Satan, and they function, they think, and they function in evil ways just as the devil does. They cannot help themselves. Anyone that has anger, they're very emotional.
That's very good. You know, hearing that, it makes me wonder sometimes that as maybe Christians find excuses to have anger, right? Maybe like that story we know of Jesus flipping over the maybe it gives Christians that reason to feel like they can do that too, right? And it's actually, they got it kind of all wrong. You're not supposed to really have anger inside of yourself.
The Christians who have not overcome anger are worshiping the devil, and they call the devil God. They call him Jesus because they cannot see, number one, and they believe the preachers or someone who told them that Jesus was angry. So they accept that, and they stay in their hell, and they call it heaven.
Very good, Jesse. Thank you.
You're welcome, Arthur. Amazing call. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Let me take a quick break. The treasure chest is now open on D Live. I'll be back in a moment. noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true. It's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. The doors of the church is now open. Anybody here believe that Jesus died on the cross and rose again? You shall be saved. Come on down. The door of the church is now open. Yeah, come on down, sister, brother. Yeah. Accept Jesus. What a mess. What a mess. 888-7753-773. I want to do the announcements, and then we'll get back to your calls and super chats and all those things. The Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com from 9 to 11. And he has Asmador on today. And Hake is not on YouTube this week. So check him out. The HAKE Report.com. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. And at 12 noon Pacific time. Some of you was listening to the American Anchor Baby yesterday. And while he was doing his shows, we had several people who dropped by just to say hello and meet everyone. And so that's why they were coming in. I'll bring them into the studio to meet the Anchor Baby, because he wasn't out there. He was doing his show. And they came all the way, and they wanted to meet everyone. So I brought them in, and that's what was going on. We had some visitors, and we've been getting a lot of them lately, but they wanted to meet the Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. So if you heard all the commotions, that's what it was all about. Tomorrow, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, a brand new episode of the Fallen State.tv. The Fallen State. I had Peter Helm, and he is the author of Recovering Racist, a comprehensive and fair-minded attempt to reasonably discuss a discomforting subject. It was interesting, too. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
And so are you a racist?
Yes, I am. You really think that most black people are making choices to harm other people?
I see it on a daily basis.
You sound like an extremist and a half right now.
I may not know my flaws, but I know black people. The white people are already licking the boots of the blacks. How much more licking do you need to do?
George Floyd and I hooped together.
Oh, yeah? Did y'all smoke pot together, too?
White people commit more violent crime.
What the?
Do you think all women are narcissists?
Yes.
You're going to get me in so much motherfucking trouble laughing at your...
Oh, God. And he tried to discuss this idea of racism because I guess he used to be one, or thought that he was one. And is So we were talking about that and other issues as well. So you do not want to miss it. By this Friday at 12 noon on the falledstate.tv. All right? And don't forget, personalized shout-outs. I do them myself. Personalized shout-out, birthdays, anniversaries, encouragements, wedding announcement, whatever it might be. I had one guy did a personalized request for a personalized shout out, and he wanted me to propose to his girlfriend for him. What? It was fun. So go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And don't forget, we have counseling. I do it myself by phone, Skype, or in-house. Counseling. You can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. If you would like counseling, it's amazing. Before I go back to the phones and the super chats, this is Bible Thumper Thursday, and we're talking about spiritual things and how bad things are. It's getting worse because human nature is worse. So, and this is not just the poor, not just the whites, not just the blacks, but all human. And that's why you must be born again. Unless you are born of the Spirit of the Father, you are catching hell on earth. Your life is nothing but fear and misery, and you're trying to find escape through people, places, and things. And it will never happen. It won't happen in your imagination, and it won't happen outside of your imagination, inside of others. And it doesn't matter what type of job title you have or how many so-called degrees you have or don't have. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. You must be born again. Every human being, because they're born of the flesh, they're born of the woman. And through that come evil. And it makes a home in you, and it drives you. But you can overcome it. Here's what Gavin Newsom's California looked like as a result of evil hearts. Watch this. We are changed. This is coming from We Are Changed.
As your governor, I promise you, whatever challenges come our way, I will always lead the California way.
You literally insane.
I say that's the California way.
That's really awesome. Thank you so much.
Based on compassion.
I mean, if we're going to be realistic, they pay you to be homeless here.
Common sense. Clean and sober is one of the biggest damn mistakes this country's ever made. We all need to self-medicate periodically. Telling the truth. Telling the truth. Treasuring our diversity.
Use the fist to hit my...
Telling the truth. Following science. Protecting our planet.
Gavin Newsom, courage through crisis.
Amazing, huh? Just imagine if that guy become president. The country is over completely. It's just over. Amazing, huh? That's evil heart. He's a so-called governor. And you would think that the governor is a big deal because governor sounds good, right? His heart is wicked. And titles will not change that. He may identify with the title, but the heart is still wicked. And this is what you get in California. CNN and Breitbart reporting that Oakland, California is facing double-digit rises in crime. The situation has grown so dire that local NAACP chapter has called for a state of emergency. What's wrong with the blacks? Police in Oakland are urging residents to use air horns as a way of sounding an alarm when criminals strike amid a surge in crime. Watch this from CNN.
very hard for me and my son, especially my son.
So Kristen Cook is leaving Oakland, California.
Be careful.
After living here her entire life.
I can't take it anymore. I got to the point I was too scared to leave my house.
Cook blames brazen assaults and robberies in broad daylight, break-ins, and home invasions across the city. As Oakland sees a surge in reported violent crimes this year compared to last, robberies, burglaries, and rape are all up by double-digit percentages. Everyone we talk to says it doesn't matter your race, your income, everyone seems to be a target, including carjackings like this one.
No. The fact that I am being pushed out because I emotionally can't take it anymore is horrible.
But Tony Bird is staying. She lives with a locked front gate and 5 security cameras. Bird says Oakland police recommended steel braces for residential doors and air horns.
The idea is if you set it off, your neighbor would hear it, set theirs off, and more people are alert that there's danger.
I want to know.
Frustration has spilled over in community meetings. Anger often directed at leadership, like the newly elected district attorney, who has been on the job just 7 months.
It's unreal.
Amazing, huh? Anything but bringing back the cops. Anything but bringing back Bell's Bond. Locking these people up, right? Anything but that. Amazing. All the wrong people in the right places to make sure my country does not return. The Blazers reported that, and I remember when Oakland and San Francisco, all up in those areas that was so beautiful when I first moved to L.A. in 1968. It was just paradise. Now paradise is lost. The Blazers reported that a mother whose 19-year-old son was arrested after allegedly punching a police officer in the face amid a riot at Kai Cenat giveaway, you know the little rapper guy? They're in New York City, blames society for the lawlessness. Stacy Lucas said, "You cannot blame parents." Yes, you can. It is the parents' fault. What is she talking about? You cannot blame parents. This is the blame of society, of people who use their guns to harm rather than protect. Lucas said, "Get your crooked cops in order." See, they're blaming the cops. They're blaming the cops. Not the parents, huh? It is the parents' fault. It starts in the home. It starts in the home. What you see the young blacks out there doing, and now even some of the whites, it started in the home first. It did not start on camera in a store. It started in the home. It's in their hearts. Their hearts are wicked. And some people are starting to take the law into their own hands. And I'm hoping that maybe this will not come the norm reaction to crime. But if you don't have the cops coming, if these people know they don't have to go to jail, what do you expect? Watch this from Yahoo. A Sikh store owner goes viral for beating an armed robber with a stick in California. Watch this from Fox. So for those who don't know, you can't see it. This black guy in the store what look like a trash bag.
Man, tell you call police. Ain't nothing you can do, man, until police come in. Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
He like nothing you can do to the owner. Oh, they beat him like mama.
Okay.
They whooping that black guy like grandma beating him.
It's okay. Okay, brother.
Brother, please, I'm your brother. Right? No more do this, okay? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Do he owe you a lot of money? He owe you a lot of money? Let him go. Please let him go. Come on.
I can't walk.
No, you can. Let's go. You better walk tonight. You better walk tonight. You better walk tonight. Let's go. Let's go. Don't come back here no more. Okay? Don't come back here no more. Okay? Don't do that, okay? They shoot you.
Bro, can I get a soda?
Please. Man, what kind of shit in me and you do?
He don't care about the beating. He want a soda now. What the? You told Harpo to beat me. Amazing. This is what happened. The heart is wicked. It's evil. Michael is a first-time call out of Florida. Michael, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thanks, Jesse. Good to be here. Huge fan of the show.
Thank you.
So my question was, I was discussing some Bible verses with my sister, and she had brought up some Bible verses such as that you shall not eat shellfish, or if you're born of an illicit marriage, you shall not be permitted to the kingdom of heaven, etc. And it seems like, not that I agree or disagree, I'm just wondering your thoughts on it. It seems like Christians nowadays will, and I'm a Christian myself, but Christians nowadays will use Bible verses to protest abortion and things like homosexual marriage or just homosexual acts, but they don't seem to be protesting people eating shellfish or things of that nature. So I was wondering, what's your opinion on that, and do you think that's kind of inconsistent?
So when your sister read those chapters for you, or scriptures for you, how did you deal with it? What was your reaction?
My thoughts on it were sort of like abortion and homosexual marriage are things that kind of affect our society today, whereas the other things not so much. So I could see why they would do that.
And did you give her the finger?
Not literally, but in my mind I did.
Okay, good. And your question for me is what now?
What's your opinion on that, and do you find it inconsistent how people will use Bible verses to discredit abortion and gay marriage, but they don't seem to care about eating shellfish or being born outside of illicit marriage or whatever?
They are blind and cannot see. They intellectually know the Bible, but they do not know God or his son. They know about him. They heard about him, but they don't know him. So that's why they have to intellectually quote the Bible to make themselves feel like they know God when they really don't.
Okay, I see. Do you eat shellfish?
I eat fish. And I love fish.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Amazing call. Thank you. Super chat. Super.
Super
I think
Super chats.
Now that he mentioned fish, I think I'll have me fish and lobster sauce. Lobster sauce today. Good.
I might get fish fillet.
I'll tell you. What the?
All right.
Super chat.
Super chats on D Live from Evgeny Crosby with a diamond. Chris Extra Crispy is so-called running for president when he should be running laps. Chris Crispy.
What the? Amazing. Thank you.
And over on Buy Me a Coffee.
BuyMeACoffee.com.
From Rooney. Today I learned that love is the most deceiving emotion I have, and hatred is the most honest and easiest to express. Again, we have an abundance of emotions to not value, and I'm sticking to that.
So they value their emotions?
I think they're saying, today I learned that love is the most deceiving emotion I have, and hatred, it's the most honest and easiest to express. Again, we have an abundance of emotions to not value, and I'm sticking to that.
So when they say not value, and they're responding to the biblical question, do you value your feeling? Are they saying they do value emotions?
I think they're saying no.
I mean their feelings?
I'm assuming.
Assuming. That's buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you, and I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday.
Nice.
And you want me to just finish this one?
Sure, go ahead.
And from someone who bought 5 coffees.
Someone?
Just someone.
Thank you.
Hearing the truth, better late than never. Bless all of you.
Thank you, and you're right about that. And be happy you heard it while you were living, not after you die. So right on. Thank you.
Riley JM bought a coffee.
BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk.
I bought The Pope's Exorcist on Blu-ray. Well done movie. I was working on me Jeep the other night, 12 a.m., midnight. I heard these 2 boys, 20 years old, screaming their lungs out at each other. They both drove off in their Civic and had the windows down, and one of them kept madly screaming while driving down the street. It sounded like they wanted to kill each other. Devils fighting devils.
Yep. What a mess. Thank you.
And star Zion, bought a coffee. Laughing face, crying emojis. Jesse, I want Jesse only, but he says he's too old. He too old for me. I live in the Alpharetta area.
Oh.
It's clean area, but now the so-called educated blats are coming there with tech company from California, and their kids mess up the area. Crime is rising too.
Oh, mess. Amazing. Thank you, Sia.
And I believe that that one over there, Hassan, he read the Evgeny Crosby ones about extra crispy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Shout out to the top contributors, Mav Angel, Evgeny Crosby, I Have Books That Are Amazing, Kid Combo 1, Savage Pitbull, Diane D, Potleaf 3055, and Wolf 336. Thanks for the support, guys. And I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you all. Very nice. Thank you. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. Don't forget, he has a guest at 9 a.m. this morning. Let me go quick and then at 12, the American Anchor Baby at 12 Pacific time, right after the Hake Report. Rick from Hampton. Rick, welcome to the show.
What's up, Jesse? What's going on?
All is well, Rick.
Yeah, hey, Jesse, man. Much as I love Alabama, man.
Sweet home Alabama.
What do you think about the brawl down there, man? I would call it, it wasn't, go ahead, Jesse.
Go ahead, Rick.
Now, I said, that brawl, it's like, the blacks want, I believe the blacks want to start a race war, man. What you think?
You mean the thing that happened in Montgomery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think that I know that people are angry today, and you have the children of the devil encouraging that because the children of the devil want the devils fighting with one another so they can create as much chaos and confusion and destruction as possible so that they can control the people completely.
Yeah, it seems like if you look at it, Oklahoma is race more than black. You only hear whites talk about it, Hispanic, but always black. It seems like black men are so stuck on their skin color, and if blacks don't stop focusing on their skin color, focus on righteousness, holy living by God, I hate to say this, it's over for us as a race.
Yes.
What you say?
Absolutely. I totally agree. Ray, I got to run. The show is over. Call me again, though, okay? Good to hear from you.
Hey, you too. Love you guys. I'll be blessed. Keep up the good work.
You too, buddy. Thank you. I am so out of time. The Hake Report is coming up now. Thank you for your super chats and everything, your support. Tomorrow, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, Open Line Friday. Amazing Bible Thumper Thursday today. Happy Men's History Month. And to the callers that'll drop in, some are still hold. I'm out of time. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one, folks. Become your own man. Become your own woman. Do the silent prayer. Forgive. And life is amazing. Take care.
So you get something went wrong, but
check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth.
So what you planning to do? You understand in the loop?
You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if you don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Like my cousin, sent me you, and I thank him for that. It was more of a, he thinks the whole everything's a joke. That just adds a little spice to it. But in the heart of what you're saying, there is real things going on. And people want to overlook that. And I'm telling you, Mr. Peterson, I'm not one of those people. And I thank God that, he showed you to me. And sometimes we just need some Jesse in our lives, I guess.
I wish we had more brothers like you. We need more brothers like you. This because we don't have most guys that can, lead black people into the right direction. And I thank you for that, because a lot of people will be like, man, it's still going on. It's racism. Yeah. And I try to tell them, watch his show. Listen to this brother. He's telling the truth.
Take no thought about tomorrow. Yesterday doesn't exist. And you're going to see, man, God is with us and all is well.
Thank you, Jesse Lee Peterson, Hassan, Sean,